And so yeah, today I actually want to be talking about the eating disorder that people never really knew. Like for a long time, a lot of my friends didn't know either that I used to have a little bit of an eating disorder. Well, it was more like a lot of binge eating more than anything else. But like people don't realize how problematic it can be, and when you're actually able to pull it up, that's the most important thing. But yeah, so people never really knew. And I actually didn't realize it was a disorder until I really started catching myself doing it more and more. And so, when I first started eating healthy and trying to get into the healthy lifestyle, I um I didn't really know. I don't really know about like being healthy, right? I just thought, oh, if I just start to uh, take out all the bad foods, take out all the sugar, take out all that stuff, like that's all I needed to do. And so what I decided to do is I had a friend named Mitch, and he was in the supplement industry, right? And so, guys who own supplement shops, guys who work in that type of thing, they know about nutrition, right? They teach you everything, don't they? Well, that's what I thought, anyways. And so, what I actually did is that I started I started eating the way he told me to do. So he told me to buy some whey protein isolate, and then he told me that I've got to eat really clean. I've got to eat green vegetables, and I've got to eat well, obviously, but for lunch. So for lunch would be chicken breast, brown rice, and broccoli. No seasoning, no flavoring, no nothing. Boiled. Make sure there's no like seasoning or anything on the chicken. Make sure it's boiled. Make it as bland as possible, because that's what I thought healthy eating had to be. And so that's what I started doing. I cut out like so much stuff. For breakfast, I used to have just plain oats. When I went from eating, now, if you guys watched the video the other day, I went from eating easy mac and cheese or Fruit Loops in the morning to having plain rolled oats with nothing. All I would do is I'd put them in the microwave and I'd have my oats. And you know what? It became disgusting. And I used to hate myself every single morning. That's what I had to look forward to for breakfast. For lunch, I had to have my chicken and broccoli. And for dinner time, I had like a piece of steak with more veggies. And so I was probably depriving myself of calories. Like looking back at it now, maybe I was having 800 calories a day. But what happened in the meantime was I started to crave, bad foods, right? And so what I actually started doing is every time, because I got so used to this and I started losing weight, I didn't want to stop it. Even though I hated it, I didn't want to stop. And that was the big struggle, because I was scared that if I stopped eating this way, that's how it was going to be. And so I was like, oh crap, like what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So what I did is I ate like that all the time, and I was miserable about it. So we used to go out for dinner, right? And wherever we would go for dinner, I would stress out so much. I'm like, oh, like what am I going to do? The food there's different. And so what I used to do is I used to stress so much about it that I would either try and not go with them and like just try and be like, no, I don't want to go, I can't go. Or if I did, I would just completely binge. And I would go nuts sometimes, right? I would just eat everything. And then what would happen is my unhealthy thing was and then I'd go and do cardio. Afterwards, I'd wait till everyone went home. I had a 24-hour gym at Snap Fitness. So I was able to go, okay, now I'm going to go to the gym. And I used to run and walk and do cardio because I stressed so much about it. And it was so bad. Like, it was kind of like, in a way, I had like bulimia anorexic, right? Like, I wouldn't purge or anything like that. I wouldn't make myself throw up. But as soon as I went and ate a meal that I thought was unhealthy, I would go straight to the gym, hit the treadmill, and then punish myself. Be like, no, I have to be doing this. I have to be making sure that I'm eating right. I have to be making sure that I'm doing this. And if I'm not, I have to punish myself. I have to work out and I have to burn those calories off. And I don't want you to fall in the same trap that I did. I don't want you to think you only have to eat healthy foods all the time, because things are going to come up and your family's going to be there and you are going to want to experience things. Like, your mum might make a great food. You might have a family dinner and stuff like that. And you think, no, I'm trying to lose weight. It does not mean that you cannot eat that food you love. It just means you have to be more sensible about it. And at the same time, eating healthy does not mean you have to eat clean 100% of the time every single day for the rest of your life, right? That is not a life worth living. So I don't want you to make the mistake that I did about that eating disorder. I don't want you to think about, okay, well, if I'm going to go out to dinner, what am I going to punish myself with? Do not punish yourself with exercise if you go and eat food, right? do not think about you have to reward yourself. So they say, oh yeah, if I had this is 250 calories, and that means I have to go and run, or I have to go and do something for 20 minutes because I want to burn all those calories off. Don't think about shit like that, because what you're doing is you're reinforcing bad habits, and then you're going to stress more about it. So either go, okay, you know what? I'm going to exercise a little bit more today, but I'm not going to go, I have to exercise in order to burn this, because what's going to happen is you're just going to build that really, really poor mentality in your head. And that's exactly what I did for a long time. It was just like, okay, if I go out and eat, then I have to go and punish myself, and I have to go and exercise, or I have to go and do this. But now, it's taken a long time, and I'm going to be honest, I still do have those times where I'm like, like for dinner time sometimes, if I deprive myself during the day, I'll start to eat way more food than I do. And so I try and eliminate all that bad food from my house too. But then there are times where you've got to just say, you know what, I enjoyed it, I'm going to go out, I'm going to have a good time with friends and family. Because what is going to happen is if you get in this mindset, it's very, very hard to undo. I was in this mindset for years, right? I would eat just clean foods, then I'd go out and binge, then I'd go and punish myself with exercise, and I'd just do it over and over and over again. And you know how crazy that makes you in your head? Like, when you cannot enjoy the food you want because you think you have to eat clean and strict and no sugar, no salt, no fat, no all of those things, it's complete and utter bullshit. You need to think about managing this as a lifestyle, right? Think about what I do. Do the 80-20 approach. 80% of your food comes from clean, healthy, nutritious food. Vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats. The rest of the food you're consuming, make sure you have it from foods that you enjoy. But remember, 20%, not fucking 50-50, 20%. Alright, so my breakfast, lunch, and dinner is going to be all good. Then I'm going to have a little bit of dessert. Or, I'm going out to lunch with some family and friends. Okay, so what can I choose for lunch? I can get some salmon, some poached eggs. You can still go and have a good lunch and make it taste good and make it healthy too when you go somewhere. You don't have to go, I'm going to have the ice cream and all this crap. But at the same time, if you are craving that and you decide to have it, do not go, oh, I've got to go to the gym, I've got to work it off hard, all that hard work, and you beat yourself up, because it just gets this mentality in your head that I had for a long time, and I'm telling you right now, guys, it was very, very hard to undo. So in order for you guys to not, don't get in that habit, because I want you to avoid that. I want you to avoid that little disorder that I had, and I still, honestly, to this day, I'll be really upfront with you guys. To this day, I still struggle with it because it's still there. I know in the back of my head, sometimes I'm just like, oh, I just want to punish myself. And I know it's not a good thing, but they're the habits that I put in my head. So if you're catching yourself to this now, send me a message, because I really want to help you, because I don't want you to fall down the path that I fell down. I don't want you to go at 10 o'clock at night to a gym, to a 24-hour gym, and jump on the treadmill for an hour and a half because you feel so guilty about what you did during the day. Shit's going to come up. Life's going to come up. There are going to be foods you enjoy, so you need to stick to eating them. I'm not telling you to take out your favorite food. If you love donuts, do not fucking take donuts out of your diet. Just reduce the amount you have. And then when you have it, make sure it's pleasurable. Make sure that time you do have it, that you really enjoy it. Don't go, I'm just going to feel like crap, because what's going to happen at the end of the day is you are just going to, like I'm saying, that psychological thing, and it's going to be so hard to undo. Do not try and do exactly what I did. Do not go, I'm going to punish myself, I'm going to eat clean all the time, I'm going to avoid sugar, I'm going to avoid salt, I'm going to avoid fat. Life is meant to be lived, and it's supposed to be enjoyable, right? You need to have that healthy benefit of back and forth. You need to have that 80-20 approach. Okay, today I'm going to, like earlier on, like I just said, I went out and had some fish and chips with my family, had some gravy, had some fish, and that's it. That's all that happened. I'm like, okay. And then in the past, what I used to do, I used to really, really stress about that. I'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm not going to eat for the rest of the day. And then when you deprive yourself, you get an unhealthy mental habit, but then you also start to see exercise as a chore. And if exercise is a chore, well, then you are just going to be setting yourself up for failure. And this is what I did a couple of years in a row, back and forth, back and forth. And you can even ask my parents, it was bad. Like, if I went to Sizzler, I went to, I'll give you guys another example. So it would only be at night time when I'd go for dinners, and that's why I still eat such a huge dinner. And I remember this one night, my friend Tom and I, we actually went and did this eating challenge. And I went and we did this ice cream challenge, right? And I ate so much ice cream, and the first thing I did was I didn't even go home. I went straight to the gym, and then I tried to I literally just try to stay on the treadmill for as long as I can. I went to the treadmill, then I went to the cross trainer, then I went back to the treadmill. Like, I don't even know how long I was there for, and this is at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Because I was so stressed about what I just did. I enjoyed it, and then as soon as I finished it, I felt guilty. And as soon as I felt guilty, I was like, you know what? It's just wrong. I'm telling myself that I'm bad, I'm failing. I had this negative mindset in my head, and I don't want you guys to experience that. So if anybody is having problems with eating, punishing yourself, telling yourself you have to do cardio to burn it all off, or you just don't feel like you can go out and enjoy yourself, I want you to reach out and message me, because I know it's a struggle, and I really, really want to help you guys. So that's a little eating disorder that I had. Not a lot of my friends actually know about it. All my family kind of did, because they could see that I would binge food, or that I just tried to avoid the whole thing. And it's funny. A couple of years ago, I actually didn't want to come home for Christmas because I was so scared about how much I was going to eat, and I was like, I'm going to get super fat. That was the mentality I had. But I've been able to change that. Not fully. I'm going to admit it's not fully gone, but I've made changes. So if you want to learn, if you need help, if you want to reach out, if you need anything, make sure that you please send me a message so I can help you out. Now, if you liked the video, guys, please make sure to like this. Like, I really want you to hit the like button like now. Like I said, at the end of the day, focus on like an 80-20 approach more than anything. Make sure you stick to mostly healthy foods, and then go and enjoy yourself that little bit. But what I really suggest is, if there's a food that you eat that makes you feel like shit, don't eat it, because it's not worth it in the long run if you're always feeling like crap. So if anyone, what I really want you guys to do is just to hit like on the video, because that way it's going to help me help more people. And if you can even share this, that would be so much more beneficial. The more that I can see people rewatching this video and going, oh, it's not just me. Like, Tyson's a personal trainer and he experienced the exact same thing. It's really going to help me help other people out at the end of the day. Because I don't want people to get in this mindset. Health and fitness is supposed to be a good thing. Healthy and fit life. Not stressed out about the food you eat and punish yourself later. So that's the video for today, guys.